All right. Welcome to the D.Fos podcast, where we drop insight, information, and inspiration. We are broadcasting live from Gorilla Cross Studios. Shout out to my man Quan the 5'9" on the board. And today I have a friend of the show, a return guest, plant-based chef, entrepreneur, wellness advocate, Chef Stacey Dougan. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time out and stopping back in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
course.
I know you're a very busy woman. You always doing your thing. I seen you doing a catering gig today. You know what I mean?
At
So
Obodo Collective Farm. Shout out to Tamika and Cheyenne.
She's over there. How's she going? But I guess you worked it out. You know
I be
what I mean?
moving. Yeah.
So Obodo, you did a catering today, right? Mm-hmm. What was on the menu today?
We had lasagna, coconut kale salad, and chocolate mousse shooters with berries and coconut whipped cream.
Wow.
They loved it. It was great.
Now, when you're doing your catering, do they come up with the menu, or you present them with something?
So we have a catering menu, and then based on what the event is, I kind of lead people in what I think would be good for the event. But a lot of times people already know what they want.
They just trust your judgment. Now, do they have any problem? I guess when they reach out to you, they know that you're a plant-based chef. Is that the right title?
Plant-based.
Okay, plant-based. Okay, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So starting off, man, like what's new with you, man? Since I seen you,
a lot of new stuff. Sister been working, raising my 10-year-old over here.
Yeah. Shout out to Zion, man. He's a young star. I like what you doing with that young man.
He's into acting. He wants to be a full-time actor, model. He's been acting since he was like 3, but I had to kind of take him out, and now that he's older,
he's homeschooled too, right?
He's homeschooled. He's in Odyssey Charter School, which is a hybrid school. So he's homeschooled 4 days out of the week. He goes to school 1 day a week in the classroom. Okay. We really like that model. That was your
goal initially, or was he ever in like regular school, public school?
He was only in public school 2 years. So kindergarten and first grade, he was homeschooled. Second and third grade, he was in Clark County School District. That didn't work out for us.
It didn't work. You didn't like that?
Yeah. I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't.
And you
like
raising him in the right way, like even introducing him to the way of eating and all that. That's all he knows.
That's all he knows. All he knows is veganism. He's never had meat on purpose. He's eaten meat by mistake. And got sick both times.
Really? Just wasn't his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because he's never had meat before. So, but he's a great, and he's becoming a cook himself.
Yeah,
he actually made me
a
vegan grilled cheese.
Really?
This morning, today for lunch.
He's gonna be ahead of the curve. He's definitely gonna be ahead of the curve. And so, you said you working, raising your son. I know we was at the Obodo Collective opening. So explain your connection with them.
Absolutely. So Obodo Collective is a urban farm here on the historic West Side in Las Vegas. The historic West Side is considered a food desert. Which means that there's no healthy food over there except Mario's. Yeah. Shout out to Mario. He has a grocery store there. Yeah. But they're the only ones. And so a group of women have gotten together, and shout out to Tamika and Cheyenne. They're the main two. And they're running Obodo Collective Farm, which is a urban farm where people can go and get fresh produce. And they just opened a grocery store. So we were there a few weeks ago. That was the grand opening for their grocery store. So people can go over there. They're open, I think, Wednesday through Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah. And I never knew that was right there in the heart of the West Side, heart of the 89 106, I think.
Growing food for the community. How long
have they been over there?
They've been over there almost 4 years.
Wow, I'm late to the party. Yeah, I think we was looking at the greens and all the stuff they had.
I picked some greens today. I went over there. I got some mushrooms, some lion's mane mushrooms from there today.
Mane?
Yep, I bought the last 2 today. I cannot wait. I'm gonna make the lion's mane steak. Remember we talked about that?
I was gonna go to Whole Foods. I didn't know they had lion's mane.
They had lion's mane. Yep, they was on sale for like $5 too from Desert Moon Mushrooms. I was like, oh my gosh, give me both of them.
I gotta get over there. They the nice size boys too, right?
Yeah. So I can't wait to make that mushroom steak.
Yeah, and I remember the price was pretty. It was decent. It wasn't like crazy for what you get.
$2 a pound. Yeah.
And so to eat healthy is really not as expensive as everybody thinks.
It's not. No, not at all. I mean, especially when you go to places like Obodo where that have, the food is grown from the ground, and it's organically grown. So it's super healthy. There's a few farms here in Vegas. Vegas is it's dry here, but there's still a lot of places to farm.
It's probably not the best climate for like farming and stuff, but you can make it. You can make
it work. Yeah, almost any climate. But they it's hot when it gets hot here. That's when stuff just starts to burn.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the summertime. Over there.
I don't think the summertime things grow that well. So.
It's bad, except like.
But then again, I don't know. We need to ask Cheyenne Kyle.
She said Cheyenne she's a dope grower. She knows her thing.
She's a master grower. Like when you go, you can go to Obodo. You can volunteer, and then Cheyenne, like if you want to get a group of people there, she'll show everybody around and kind of show you what to do, talk about the farm. But the wealth of knowledge that she has just about food is amazing.
Her and is it Tamika Henry?
Tamika Henry.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. You partner with a lot of people. A collective, a lot of people. So shout out to Obodo. Definitely got to get over there. Right over there. What is that? C Street?
C Street. Yep. C Street in Monroe.
Yeah. Okay.
Right on the heart of the historic West Side.
The heart, man. I hope they don't gentrify that whole area.
They trying to, but we gotta get our footprint in there first.
Some way.
Yeah.
Somewhere or another. I know now that you're you just started the Glow Up community, right? Okay,
yes.
And so it's a nice community. I like how you did that thing, and just following you from when we talked last time and the whole juice fast thing, when I seen you present that, I said, I want to check that out. So talk to us about the inspiration behind starting the Glow Up community, and what is the Glow Up community?
Absolutely. So the Glow Up community is a community that I started that really centers around health and wellness, helping people to achieve their wellness goals, creating community around health and wellness. And the reason why I started it is because I've always been like the health girl. People come and I'm the vegan chef. I'm the one that knows about health. But it's so noisy on social media.
It is. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on, and I just wanted a place where people could go just for health and wellness. So that's why I started looking into like how to build a community, how to grow a community, how to start a community. And so we started on one platform, but I wasn't really too keen on that platform. But that was the platform we started on when we did our first juice cleanse.
The school platform.
The school platform, right?
And
so I started the Glow Up community for those reasons, for the health and wellness reasons, just to give it some kind of focus. But then I decided to do a 3-day juice cleanse because I do them periodically. And so I was like, let me invite some people to do it with me. And then I was like, let me do it in conjunction with the Glow Up community. So we had about 70 people join the community in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And and that was in January. And so you and a few other people, Tiffany, of course, my girl Mari, some other people in the community did the 3-day juice cleanse. We all did it together in January. That was amazing.
So that was a good way to kick off the year too.
That was a great way to kick off the year. And it was just so I didn't know that we were going to have the kind of testimonies that we had. People were really healing. Even your testimony, having more energy.
Having more energy,
So
because I know I told you the first day, and I did one before, but I think this time it was different. The first day, I don't know if I was just dehydrated. I was coming off a vacation and I was going right back to work. And so the first day, I thought I was ready. You know what I mean? So I did it, but then I was okay until about the 4 or 5 o'clock. I got a headache out of this world. And I'm like, oh man, what is it? It was just like, never had a headache like that. It was weird to even explain it, right? So I said, maybe I was just dehydrated, which I think I was. So the next day, I came right back at it. And it's like my body shifted. It like kicked in, right? And so I had 2. I didn't even finish the juices I brought. I think I brought about 3 juices, and I only finished like maybe 2 of them, 1.5 maybe. But like it's like my body adjusted. And I didn't even really need all of it. So they say when you fast, your body kind of starts eating itself,
right?
Eating the bad stuff up. So it was great for me. I couldn't believe how much energy I had because I have a very physically demanding job. I work at UPS, so I thought, man, I was kind of unsure if I was going to be able to do it. I'm like, man, do I need to pack a sandwich? Just, I wasn't sure, right? So I trusted it, trusted God. I'm fasting and all that, but it worked.
It works.
It worked, you know what I mean?
Just got to push through that initial whatever that is. It's different for everybody. Some people it shows up with headaches. Some people it shows up with extreme hunger. Some people get irritable. Some people get really sleepy. So it's just pushing through that and just sticking with the fast.
And your body is kind of going through something during the time, right?
Yeah, it's cleansing those toxins, and it's like releasing. And then if for people who like drink coffee and you might have some
caffeine and all the
you might be going through some withdrawals. And then also on the juice cleanse, you have to drink a lot of water.
You have to the liquid. You need the liquid. You
gotta drink water. Yeah, like half your body weight in ounces. So I always tell people that it's a lot of water. But
I'm used to drinking, but I think that was one of my things. But you do, and it's still liquid. You still drinking liquid and stuff too. What are some of the other benefits of a juice fast?
So mental clarity. I know for me, I had a lot of peace this last one that we did. So we did another one in March, and we had a new group of people who, we had a couple of people from January who did this one, but in March we had some new people. And I know for me, every time I do a juice cleanse, I feel I get a different kind of response from my body. So this time I felt just a really calm and peaceful,
like a whole 3 day,
real serene. Like I just couldn't even be loud or
really.
It was just like I couldn't even rile myself up. I was just in the flow, and I felt like energetic, like electric almost. It was quite spiritual for me this time, and so and it wasn't as challenging. Like I felt hungry, but I didn't feel as hungry as I usually feel. So some of the benefits are, again, mental clarity, not feeling as sluggish in your body, like for you, that detox, of course. There's so many things, like you're allowing your body to heal. I know that Tiffany, she had some swelling in her arms and legs that went down immediately the second day. So fasting is a big thing, and it doesn't have to be so much. Like 3 days is enough, especially when you're starting. Now, if you want to go longer, but when you're starting, because some people are like, oh, you got to do 30 days. You got to do like, nah.
That's intense. That's another level. You didn't hurt yourself doing that.
Exactly.
Like that.
There's some people who do it, but I don't think that it's good to do in the beginning. I think it's just baby steps.
Right. I think so too. I think that's going a little bit
and that's
too
another
far.
part of the Glow Up community is that I want to approach health and wellness from a standpoint where people can really approach it and feel like they can do it. Because sometimes people look at health and wellness and they're like, I can't do this. I can't, because it's too complicated.
It seems, but you got to break the steps down.
You got to break the steps down.
It does seem like a lot, especially if you shifting from one, living and eating one way to going strictly that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so, that's amazing though. Speaking on that, but can you speak a little bit about your health and wellness journey and how it started and how you got here?
Of course, So when I went to I'm from Detroit originally, and so I went to a school in Detroit called Nataki Taliba from kindergarten to 8th grade, and all they served was vegetarian lunches. The principal was vegetarian.
At that point, really?
In the early 80s.
So it must have been a special school, though.
Very special. It was a West African based school, and
so
it
your
was
parents
really small.
intentionally wanted to put you in that?
Oh yeah. My parents they loved. I mean, I love Nataki. I still have some of my best friends are still friends from there. I still have my friends from kindergarten, first grade.
So did your parents kind of lead you this way, like by putting you in there? Was they on this? Was they on this?
A little bit. My dad is an OBGYN. He's deceased now, but he was an OBGYN. But he's more of Western medicine, So he was kind of into health. My mother was into health more than he was because my mother's grandmother, she had a garden. She used to grow her own things. She used to cook. There was that kind of thing. So we were used to home cooked meals. Like McDonald's was a treat for us growing up.
That's maybe once a week. Maybe
Exactly. And so my mom used to she was kind of all over the place though. We would have pork chops one day and then we might have tofu stir fry the next day.
Same week, huh?
It's like the next day. But it was always home cooked. So I was used to eating home cooked meals, and so as I grew up, I just realized that I just didn't like meat. I just never been a meat eater. And so when I got to college, that's when I started weaning myself off, and by the time I graduated from college, I was pretty much full vegetarian. And it took a minute. Like I eliminated pork and beef. I had eliminated that like when I was in my early 20s. Yeah, like early.
What about then like chicken or anything like that?
Yeah, chicken I was on for a little while. Then I eliminated chicken because I got food poisoning one time at Lenox Mall in Atlanta. And I was like, never again.
Wow.
And so I never had chicken.
A bad bird.
I had some Chinese food and got food poisoning. I was like, never again. And so I hadn't had chicken since then. I was probably about 21.
Really?
And then dairy and fish I was on for a while. And then eventually I weaned off of dairy and fish. I still eat something. Now I was strict vegan for like 15 years. I'm talking about like nothing. No nothing. Not even wearing leather. Golly. I was that vegan.
Really? Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So and eventually when I got pregnant with my son, I ended up I started eating fish again.
Okay.
So I do eat some fish every now and then, but my diet is mostly plant-based. And I eat from the earth.
Now when you was eating like it, did you ever worry about like protein sources, or where do you get your protein source from being plant? But I know it's tofu, beans.
Yeah, tofu, beans, rice, broccoli. There's so many things that have protein, and you really just have to eat from the rainbow. That's the thing. Because a lot of people are vegan. They turn vegan or vegetarian, and they just eat starch. Okay. But you got to eat the reds. You got to eat the blue, like the blues, the blueberries,
okay. Some of everything.
The eggplant. The reds, the strawberries, the red bell peppers, the yellows. You got to eat from the rainbow. So I try to make sure that my plate is really colorful.
That's really what you want. That's the goal. The yellows, the squashes, okay.
And I eat hemp seeds. That's a good source of protein. I do a lot of beans and rice.
You just got to eat a lot of the hemp seeds. Pumpkin seeds,
quinoa, all of that kind of stuff. Like you kind of have to be.
I know, quinoa is good too.
Yeah, quinoa
is good. It's kind of like it takes on the flavor of whatever you cook it with.
It's kind of like a rice.
Yeah, I was like, man, this don't taste like nothing. But once you mix it with something,
right.
Yeah. What do you think about all this, that new whole era of like the Beyond Meat and all that? What is your take on that? Like,
I'm not a fan, because when I started cooking vegan 24 years ago when there was no Beyond Meat.
When it wasn't
even
like popular.
It was not popular at all. And there weren't really, the only company that had a veggie burger was Boca at the time. Boca Burger. I think they were the only ones, and there was no vegan cheeses. So I had to learn how to make things from scratch. I had to learn how to make cheese from cashews and cheese from
cashew
tofu.
nut,
and all that. So I still cook like that. So
so you was before the phenomenon.
Oh,
you was before all that.
Before all that. So the Beyond Meat and stuff, I mean, if it's a transition. So if you want to transition from meat to that, that's fine, but you can't stay there because it's still made in a lab.
It's still processed.
It's still processed.
No matter. It's another one. What is Beyond Meat?
Impossible.
Impossible. Okay, the same kind of same thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Instead, plant-based is really the best. Like we was just talking about. I never thought that when I seen the guy make that lion's mane mushroom, it looked just like a steak.
I bought my lion's mane today. I can't wait to make that.
I got to get over there and have it, man. So there is healthy alternatives that you can eat. Yeah. I think it's just getting your palate kind of accustomed and used to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's interesting. What do you think the biggest challenge is in trying to teach or educate people into going into wellness?
That's a good question. It's unlearning, teaching people how to unlearn how they used to eat, and just knowing that you're eating differently now. You're not just running fast food. You have to plan. Just like you plan. You should be planning your life. You should be planning your work. If you have children, you got to plan. You need to plan your meals too. And most people don't do that when it comes to eating. They just like, I'm gonna grab whatever.
Grab whatever's convenient.
Yeah, and sometimes every now and then, you might do that, but for the most part,
that can't be the standard. That can't be
the standard. And so that's the biggest thing is people are like, I don't have time to cook, and I'm like, how do you not have time to take care of yourself? Cooking is a form of self-love.
Yeah.
So if you're not cooking for yourself or your family, at least you don't have to cook every day, but at least a couple times a week.
Yeah, it's funny how, as a society, we got away from that. It used to be time and all that.
Yeah.
And, when people say that, I've been on my health journey. I got high blood sugar. I got stuff under control a little bit. I'm still battling with it. But people always say, man, I don't got time or money. But somehow you will find the time to go to the doctor.
Yep.
Find the time to go pick up your prescription. So it's like, you're going to spend the time or money one way or the other. Yeah, so it's like the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, I'll say. You know what I mean? It's simple but not easy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so what would you say, another part of that question, just in general, what I just asked you, but do you think it's harder for the Black community?
I think that it's
because we're so accustomed to eating smothered and fried, and
it's true.
We think we doing, you know what I mean? We get a plate of this, we doing it, but it's like a slow death. What would you say to that?
I would say, because I am a part of the Black community, I would say that the majority of the people who do come to me and that I see do have, who are in the Black community, do have some kind of health issues, problems, issues. But I don't know now, because it's a lot of white folks that's sick too, and Spanish people, and I would say Asians are probably the ones that are healthiest.
Yeah, they're the healthiest ones, right? Yeah. Right. And I'm like, man, like Japanese, all that rice and ain't nothing wrong.
That kind of. But when it comes to, I would say that Black people suffer more from high blood pressure and diabetes and stuff, but I don't know if that's necessarily true anymore. Yeah, because I see many people
overall, there's more people to get it, but I remember there was always a stigma, like, well, I got this, or I got high blood pressure, or I got this, because it just runs in my family. But the truth of it is,
nobody runs in your family.
Mom and them ate one way, and they ate one way, and we continued eating that way.
Exactly.
So it wasn't necessarily hereditary. It was like we just followed the same diet.
That's the truth. That's the truth. What I mean? Yeah. And so you're right in that instance. When it comes to African Americans, we do tend to fry a little bit more.
Yeah, remember lard? Yeah, remember, I'm like, that is insane to think that we used to. Like chitlins. Like I never could do the chitlin. I'm like, man, I'm sorry.
The
like
smell.
I tried it, but all it was hot sauce and salt and pepper. And it still didn't. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I've never had a chitlin before, because I guess I can't. The smell is just too much. I've never had one. I go like, first of all, when I found out what it was,
then I'm like, who made that a delicatessen? You know what I mean? Right. And it's so crazy, because I guess from back in the day, like the slave time, like that's all we would eat. So they find a way to like doctor it up and make it like everything on the pig. You know what I mean? Like I remember I seen a chef one time that was cooking on a show. He looked like a pig with a hat on. I mean, like, I'm like, this dude, it's all he has to be eating, man. He really had the whole feast. I'm like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that pork and all that, man, I mean, it's just, man, it's crazy. I still try to eat a little meat. And like I said, I try to maintain my weight. But, ever since I, linked up with you and been doing my own research, I try to,
and I tell people eating meat is not, like, the goal is not to be strict vegan, if but the goal is to be balanced. The goal is to be healthy, because I know a lot of sick vegans too.
Really?
I know some fat vegans.
I know people say, oh man, cereal's vegan. You know what I mean?
It is.
You know what I mean?
French fries is vegan. Oreos are vegan. Donuts can be vegan. So it's a lot.
And sometimes, like, even size doesn't necessarily mean healthy.
Yeah.
If you have some big people, ain't nothing wrong. I'm straight. But then you have small people that's sick.
That's sick too. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's about being balanced. It's about being healthy and balanced. So you kind of have to do what works for you. Fish agrees with me. Some fish.
Fish agrees.
So so I will eat that for the protein. But everybody's different.
And then you're still able to get all your all your vitamins and nutrients and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about, do you do protein shakes or anything like that?
I
Smoothies
do.
And stuff like that?
I do. I love there's a protein powder from a restaurant here called Shaga Root.
Really?
My friend owns it, Shane Stewart, and there is a mushroom-based restaurant. They make burgers out of mushrooms.
Everything's mushroom-based?
Yeah, they have a whole mushroom farm.
Do they?
Oh, it's awesome.
Where are they located at, Shaga Root?
Shaga Root is off of Flamingo and Eastern.
Kind of up that way?
Yeah, it's like on the east side. Yeah, but they have a protein powder that is the best protein powder I've ever had.
That you can put in smoothies and stuff like that?
And it's mushroom based, and it has it's all natural ingredients. It's just really, really good. As a matter of fact, I called Shane the other day. I was like, yo, I need to re-up.
Really? They sell it in a big container or something like that?
Big bag.
I'm going to have to check them out. You got to give me the information.
I will. To me, that's the best protein powder I've had. And then my guy, Badass Vegan, I don't know if you know John Lewis. He calls himself Badass Vegan. He's a brother. He produced the movie They're Trying to Kill Us. I think I posted it in the Glow Up community.
Yeah, he did that?
Yeah, he did that. And he has a protein powder too, but I haven't seen his on the market in a while. I don't know if he still sells it, but his was really good too. So I just try to support my friends. I have a lot of friends in
That's good you do. Yeah, like the African restaurant. I didn't get to make it, but I like how you try to support. And it's a good community.
It's a good community.
It's a good community too. Yeah. Try to build and support.
We're talking about Calabash, West African Kitchen.
West African.
Shout out to
I wanted to taste some of that food. Yeah,
she has a vegan menu on her West African menu at her restaurant. So.
I definitely want to try it. I didn't know it was so many good choices like in the Eastern, like the Jamaican food. Like I didn't know what they do, the bananas and the plantains and the sweet. I didn't know, like, so much.
Peas and rice.
But it really, I noticed it really takes time. You got to really have time to cook and enjoy the meal. You know what I mean? And I don't know if we just in a fast-paced society.
We are. And it's just too, we really got to get back to cooking. So that's one of the things I want to do with the Glow Up community. Because I used to do cooking classes at Whole Foods, like in person.
Yeah.
And, you know, got away from that. But I want to get back to doing cooking classes, going into the schools, doing cooking classes, but also cooking with kids, cooking with families, you know, just that kind of thing. Because we have a collaboration with the YMCA. That's where our prep kitchen is.
Okay.
And so they've agreed to let us come in and do cooking classes and things like that with the kids.
That's good.
So
and teaching them early.
Teaching them early, and then teaching adults too. So I want to do some more online, like cook with me type things, you know, that kind of thing. So showing people just like how to get back to the basics, because again, and I can't reiterate this enough, but cooking for yourself really is a form of self-love. And I was telling Tiffany, because Tiffany and her husband, I went in and helped them. And I was telling them, like, the kitchen is the most important room in your home, because you can either make your family well or you can kill your family in the kitchen. Now, the bathroom you need, the bedroom you need, that kitchen,
everything,
that's everying. The kitchen has to be clean. It needs to be orderly. That's why I'm very, like, meticulous about making sure the fridge is clean. There's no spoiled food. You know, people are like, your kitchen is always so.
But you gotta have it like that.
Yep, it's the most important room.
I never heard it like that, but that makes sense. Where's your go-to shopping place? What do you shop for your
I have a few. I love Trader Joe's.
Okay, Trader
Joe's. That's probably
really?
my favorite. Okay. I just love, like, first of all, their prices are amazing.
Okay.
Like, you go in Trader Joe's, and I just can't believe sometimes, like, that they're able to keep their prices, and they don't even go up on their prices.
How would you compare that to a Whole Foods? Whole Foods is kind of expensive.
Whole Foods is
it
a little
like
expensive.
That much of a difference you can tell?
Yeah, for sure. I go to Whole Foods for specialty things, because Whole Foods is more like, that's hoity-toity. That's bougie.
Right. That is. Yeah.
But Whole Foods does sell some items that nobody else sells. Like, they have a vegan prosciutto. That if I'm making a charcuterie board and I really want to get fancy, I gotta go.
Prosciutto, really?
Yeah, I gotta go, but you can only get it at Whole Foods. There's certain, like, gourmet vegan cheeses that Whole Foods only sells. So I do go to Whole Foods sometimes, but the majority of my shopping is done at Trader Joe's and Winco.
I like Winco.
Yeah, I like Winco.
I like the vibe in Trader Joe's. I don't go there a lot, but I do like the vibe, and everybody's helpful and
they so friendly.
Yeah. It's like customer service.
I even asked I asked one of the employees one time, like, how are all y'all friendly?
Yeah, like, are y'all own something?
Right.
Like, what's going on, man? Like,
right. They were like, no, they just hire friendly people.
They smiling and polishing the fruit and all that, but that's good. They want you
above and beyond.
Yeah, they want you to come back. You know what I mean? So,
gave me some free flowers the other day because I was like, what in the world? They are just really kind. So I want to be a brand ambassador for Trader Joe's. So if y'all listening,
yes. Plug. Yeah, you might be able to partner with them and do something with them.
For real, yeah. And they got a lot of good vegan options, and I like Trader Joe's too because, like, for my son, for example, they have like fried rice that he can just open up. He can just kind of make it himself. They have a lot of things that are vegan that are quick and easy to prepare that don't take a long time. And
so they got some unique products.
They do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get by there more often. Definitely get by there more often, man. Let's switch gears to the food truck, man. How's the food truck going,
the food truck is doing well. Shout out to my business partner, Michelli, with the food truck and her family. We have the food truck business is different from the restaurant business.
It is, That's from the brick and mortar to the food truck.
People always ask me what I like better. I definitely like the brick and mortar better than the food truck. I thought I was gonna like the food truck, but it's been about almost 2 years since we've had the food truck, and just learning the business.
Yeah, it's a different animal, huh? Different game.
It's different, and I'm more of a like the food truck is 6,000 pounds of restaurant equipment that you're moving around every single time. So a lot of stuff breaks. That's my biggest thing.
Because you're transporting and moving stuff.
So it's like it's very fragile, and I like, and then it's to me it's more challenging to give people the really true customer service experience.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to a restaurant, you can have like sit down. People can have a whole full experience. So the food truck is more like go. So what we decided to do with the food truck is we just mostly book it out for private events.
That's smart.
We're not pulling up
instead of trying to be out there every day.
Yeah, we ain't doing that, because then you don't know how much money you're gonna make.
Right,
you don't know
how
what
much
weather
food you need to bring.
Exactly. It's it's too much. So now, because we are the only,
that's smart, and that's efficient and economical.
Yeah, well, we had to figure that out. After a while, we were like, okay, this makes more sense, because Cox Communications will call us and be like, hey, can you pull up the food truck? That pays a few $1,000.
That's
you know what I'm
that's
saying. We're like, we can pull up Zappos. We've done something with them.
Really?
A lot of the major companies have reached out, and then we're the only vegan or plant-based food truck in the state. So because we're the only one, we get a lot of inquiries.
Yeah, so you got the market cornered, being the only one. That's unique.
There's a Rujos also. They're a trailer. They're not a truck though. And
I think I've seen them too.
A Rujos. Yeah, the food is good. Shout out to the guy that owns that. It's a Mexican concept. Okay. But I really like. I do like the food truck business. I'm glad we have it. I think we're just going to do just the one, though.
Do you still pull up at Mario's for?
We used to pull up at Mario's. We don't anymore, but we want to. So
it was
we
like
stopped
Meatless
pulling
Mondays,
up.
wasn't it?
Meatless Mondays at Mario's. Yeah.
I came through a couple times.
You did. You did. I appreciate that.
Nachos,
but we just weren't. We just weren't making enough money, so we had to. We had to stop Mario's for a little while.
It has to make sense, though, huh?
Yeah, exactly. We tried, but what I do want to do is I eventually want to go back to Mario's, but I want to bring more people from the community to make it more of an event. Okay. So maybe once a month we'll do Meatless Mondays, and once a month we'll come up and then we'll have vendors, and it's so, because I still want to give back to the community. Exactly. I still want to give back to that community, because again, that's a historic West Side. There's no healthy food over there, You're
the only one. How was it when you approached Mario with that concept?
He was amazing. He was like, okay. He said, I don't know if I'm gonna eat the food, but I was like, it's all good. Gonna eat it. He tasted a couple of things, but his staff loved it.
Did they?
Yeah, because we always go in with samples and stuff.
And it provides an alternative for that
right.
community.
Exactly. No, he was very receptive. Shout out to Mario. Yeah,
that's cool. Mario do his thing.
He didn't charge us to be there.
That was when they moved into the new location and all that. Yeah. Thinking it was a great alternative too. You know what I mean?
It was. Yeah. So we're gonna bring it back. We just had to kind of roll back and be like, okay, we got to put our mask on first and save ourselves, and then we can go out and save the world. Because I be trying to save the world first.
Right.
And my business partner look, we got to make money first.
That's on the But I did like that. My wife liked the lasagna. That was good.
Yeah. Well, we'll be at tomorrow. We'll be at Lulu's.
Yeah. Now what is Lulu's? I heard about that.
Yeah.
Is that explain that. Lulu's.
So Lulu is an actual person. She's a friend of mine. She has a company called Lulu's Vegan Kitchen, but she makes the bomb salsas and pickled vegetables and stuff.
Salsa like what? Chips and salsa?
Yeah, chip, but her salsa, I think she's full Mexican. And I'm telling you, the best salsa you have ever had. She makes a tomatillo. Yeah. And we always, every time we go to Lulu, she always gives us a couple of bottles, and so we put that on our nachos for Lulu. So we always kind of cross collaborate. But she started an all vegan vendor market about almost 4 years ago now. It's once a month. It's every third Sunday of the month usually. And so it's tomorrow. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and she does it at Arriva Luxury Residences. So it's these luxury apartments.
Where's that at? It looks real.
It's on Cactus and Las Vegas Boulevard.
Okay, that looks major though, Arriva. I seen
it's
that.
Really
looks,
nice.
It's one of the high-end places.
And so it's dope because a lot of the residents, they'll come, the people who live, they'll come to the market and they'll get food, and a lot of people come out, and it's all vegan vendors out there. So it's not just food; it's also cosmetics or
a whole marketplace.
A whole marketplace, all kinds of things people sell, sea moss and all kinds of things. But everything's vegan or plant based.
I got to give me some more sea moss saying that too. I found some company. I got to look them back up, but I got the gel, and then I had a guy that I work with from work. He brought me the actual real sea moss. It smelled like ocean. The sea. I'm like, wow, I never had this, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. Can you take that and just blend it up? You don't have to. You talking
about with the one where you gotta like.
But it looks like the seaweed or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta soak it. You gotta rinse it because it's dirty.
It's dirty. Yeah.
I have some.
It just smell like wow.
Yeah, because it comes from the sea.
But you gotta really treat it and do something. Yeah.
I just buy mine already.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
There's a guy out there, Taz. He sell at the vegan vendor market. He sells sea moss, and his really good.
Is it? So with that thing you're going to be at tomorrow, it's like a whole marketplace?
It's a whole marketplace. You go and you just walk all around, and they got vendors. They have usually they have some kind of entertainment. You just walk around and see the other vendors and buy what you want. But it's always a vibe because I'm friends with pretty much everybody in the vegan community.
So, you got a nice community too.
Yeah. So it's kind of like when we go out there, it's like hanging out with our friends.
Just catching up with friends and stuff like that. Yeah.
A lot of our customers come because we're not out as much anymore with the food truck and to the public because again we do most of our events are private
events,
so we're not out as much in the public, so people really come and get food from us because they know that they ain't gonna see us. Exactly. So it's kind of like good for us too because you know.
How do you think people find out about you? Is it just like from your social media?
People just, we're so blessed because we don't really do any marketing and all the business. We've been busy. Like we have an event today. We had one today. We got one tomorrow. We're booked for the food truck. A private company or a record label booked us on Monday for the food truck.
Wow, that's
so we've been just doing a lot of more. Like I said, people just they find us online. So if you Google
and I forgot to tell you. Your website, Simply Pure, right?
SimplyPureLV.com is the website. So people go on the website, they'll see us. A lot of people Google vegan food truck, we come up. Vegan food, we come up because we just been in the community for so long. So we just come up, first.
That's good though.
So
that's
good.
Because
I always ask people, how did you find us? And it's either word of mouth. Somebody told somebody, or they just Googled a lot of times. But, or they came and ate at my restaurant. I had a restaurant for 7.5 years. So
in Container Park, right?
So a lot of times people would be like, oh, I used to eat at your restaurant. And so
I think I brought a guy that was from out of town, and I said, man, we got to try this restaurant. And he loved it.
Really?
He loved it.
Thank you.
I remember that when you was in.
It's so awesome because people come up to me. They be like, "I used to eat at your restaurant," and it's so interesting to hear that, because when I had the restaurant and I'm in it, I just didn't really know the impact. Until afterwards. I'm like, man, people still rocking. With us with the same menu. They be like, I want to, we do some different things. Like my business partner tomorrow, she's gonna make a cucumber salad. She's making a hibiscus tea, but we gotta have the nachos on there. The nachos, gotta have the mac and cheese.
Nachos is a staple.
It's a staple. The lasagna is a staple. You gotta have there's
stuff
certain
that's
things.
tried and proven. We
gotta have those.
What would you say the average person would start when they're starting their wellness journey? What would be your advice to them?
I would say, set a goal first. Like, what are you doing your wellness journey for? Are you trying to lose weight? Or you just want to overall be healthy? What's the goal? Because everybody is different. Some people are really trying to get rid of illness. Some people aren't as sick. And then once you figure that out, then you just start eliminating things slowly but surely and replacing things. So replacing them, not really eliminating, because people look at vegan food and then they're like, oh, it's restrictive, like they can't eat a lot. And it's like, no, instead of having ground beef with your spaghetti, then maybe have some TVP, textured vegetable protein, or maybe have some lentils, or maybe have some, something that resembles some walnut meat or something. So it does take a little bit of research, because you are learning how you're relearning. So that's what I'm saying. Unlearning and then learning again. It's almost like you in school, but it can be fun, and
it's a challenge, and it's really some good stuff.
Right,
out there.
So I tell people, like, take it slow. Set out what's your goal, and then take it slow. And then if you need to reach out to people like me, reach out, become a part of the Glow Up community, because you'll definitely get the the Glow Up community will definitely help you there. The community is just starting, but I'm active in there.
Very active, and I'm in there. Quan, do you have the video for the Glow Up community? Can you cue it up? We're gonna cue up kind of like the commercial or the intro for the Glow Up community.
Yeah,
we'll get back
that we did at Obodo.
Yeah, we did at Obodo. Yeah.
Yes.
That was dope. So we'll cue that up and we'll get back. Fabulous community. I like it. A lot of good insight.
Thank you. Yeah, there's no other community like it in Las Vegas. So we're setting precedents here. And the more people that join, the better. You know. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think we'll cue that up here in a second. But it's good. How long? You said since January, huh?
We just started it in January. And then we switched platforms. So now we're on the Mighty Networks platform, which I like better. It's a little more involved, but I do like that platform a lot. So we're gonna be doing cooking classes. We do meetups once a month. So we do the juice cleanse once a month. So the meetup, the in-person meetup, is every first Sunday of the month in the evening. And then the juice cleanse is every first Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of every month. So we're gonna do the next juice cleanse is in April. I think it's April 1st.
April 1st. That's coming up. Coming up. Yeah.
The first, second, and third. The first Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We do the juice cleanse.
Yeah, that's good. Let me know when you're ready on that, Quan. Right. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Here's a little information about the Glow Up community.
Hey.
Hi, and welcome to the Glow Up community. My name is Chef Stacey, and I thank you for being here. We created this community to help individuals empower themselves in their own self-healing journey. However, we do this together as a group, as a community, and we are so thrilled that you have decided to join us. Please be sure to share your experiences, your testimonies, your recipes, and your love with the group. Remember that we do our 3-day juice cleanse every month, and if you need more information about anything in the group, if you need help, if you need assistance, please feel free to reach out, and we are happy to help you on your wellness journey. Again, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
That's so good.
Absolutely. And the book you wrote the Glow Up, and so it really was started from the book, right? From the ebook.
Yeah, the ebook. In 2023 December, I'd never successfully done any kind of fast. Like I was one of those where I gotta eat, and people were like, "You've never, because you're so healthy." I'm like. Yeah, but I had no discipline when it came to eating. And so in 2023, December, I was feeling real sluggish, really slow. I was like, I got to do something. I was like, I'm going to do this 3-day juice cleanse and I'm going to power through it. So I did it and I felt amazing, but I journaled every single day. I documented it, what I did, what I ate, how I felt. And so after I finished, I was like, oh, well, I got a book here. Let me just put it in. So I hopped on chat. Literally, I locked myself in my room for 8 hours and went on Chat GPT, got an outline, and I just fleshed it out. And then and then I had a book, and then I what I did was, instead of putting it out there, I called like 5 of my friends and I sent it to them, and I was like, hey, check this out. And then I was like, hey, can you do the cleanse and do it with the book? And so then I had a couple of friends that did the cleanse and with the book, and they kind of gave me some insight. I had to change a couple of things, this isn't clear. That's
good feedback and stuff like that.
So I had my friends testing it out for me, and then after that, I just put it out there. And
what juice are you drinking today?
I'm drinking the tangerine orange ginger juice.
Ooh, that's help. That ginger's good though.
Ginger is good. It's in season. I love me some ginger. I love oranges are in season now too.
Healthy vitamin C, tangerine.
You want to drink what's in season. Like that's why I can't wait. Watermelon season coming.
Okay, that's coming up. How do you feel about the whole GMO thing? Like, is it hard to really find a seeded watermelon nowadays? Like, is it?
It is. It's sad. Like last year, I was fussing because I was fussing at sprouts.
What do they call it? Frankenstein fruit.
Man, let me tell you, any kind of fruit that doesn't have a seed is not real fruit. It has to have a seed in it in order for it to be a fruit. If it doesn't have a fruit, if it doesn't have seeds, that means it's not real. That means it's made. Yeah.
What do you think that is? I know it's an economic thing, but like, where is it going at? Like, it's hard. It's rare to find one, right?
It is. Well, you can find them at the a lot of the Mexican markets have them, like Cardenas.
Their fruit game is crazy.
It's strong, right?
Their fruit game is stupid, man.
They usually have seeded fruit, seeded watermelon, seeded grapes, and then Sprouts does. Sprouts usually has seeded watermelons.
Okay, that's good to know.
Whole Foods don't though.
They don't.
Nope.
They're probably too cheap.
They tripping.
Yeah, they're too cheap.
But
expensive and cheap. Yeah,
Sprouts and Cardenas and Marianas is what it's called.
Yeah,
they usually
they don't
will have
be playing.
seeded
When you go in there, it's like a oasis of fruit.
Beautiful.
I'm like, man, this is they got it decorated, and I'm like, man,
they got the little fruits like stand. You can go and get the smoothies. Ooh, so good. It's so good. Yeah,
that's good. That's good, man. Yeah. So definitely, man. But appreciate you, Chef, man. Appreciate everything you're doing. The community, I think it's really on your heart. I think this is your purpose. You know what I mean? You're really passionate about it. You're helping a lot of people. You're educating people. And I think there's no testimony like getting self-healed and empowering yourself and taking the steps and doing. I'm still on my health journey. I ain't got it all figured out. You know what I mean? I'm still, working too. But
you're doing good. You're doing good because I've been knowing you for a while, and I see you. I see you changing. You look younger.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. It's a slow thing, but I like being, with the community. When we did the first meetup, I'm like, oh man, everybody's on. They on the same thing. It's good. You know what I mean? So that's phenomenal, man. Anything you want to leave the people with, man, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to encourage everybody just to take your healing and your health into your own hands and take it seriously. Especially this year. This year is, and it's not just because what we're going through politically and things like that, but it's just the climate that we're in. Like if you're not taking care of your health, there's so many people getting sick, so many people dying. If you're not taking care of your health, like that, it don't have to be. And if you're taking care of your health, that means that you're taking care of your gut health. That means and that's directly correlated to like your mind and depression and all of that. So it really is mind, body, spirit. So that's what we're about, of course.
What do they say? The gut is almost like the second brain.
It is. It is. That's why when you have a good bowel movement, you feel like, whoa, you feel happy. Yeah. So the gut, just making sure that you are doing your best to be healthy and cook for yourself and love on yourself, that's important. I mean, and I talk about, I used to be like, you got to take care of your families and stuff, but now I'm really about self-care first.
Take care of you first.
Take care of you first. Put your mask on first, and then you say everybody else.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we do that, then everybody, we gonna be good. But this year, I'm very excited about working with people in the Glow Up community. I'm excited about partnering with like Blacks in Nature. Which Roz started. They go out, they do hiking and all kinds of activities outside. Thy Wellness Run.
Okay, you get your run on.
I get my run on 2 miles. I usually do 2 or 3 miles. And gotta get out there. So
and it's all part of your lifestyle. It's all part of what you do.
It's all a part of a lifestyle. Just switching over your lifestyle and let's live our best lives this year. I
heard that, man. That's good. So you got a big thing coming up that we'll hear about at some point.
I do. We have a new restaurant location coming. Okay. I'm not at liberty to say where it is and what it is,
but it's major.
It's major.
It's major. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Catch the food truck. Visit the website.
Visit the website. All of our events on the website. We've been doing really good about posting all of our events on the website, and then we do a lot of catering. So if people want to hit us up for catering or book out the food truck for weddings, any kind of
like
event. We do it all, and we have an exceptional
team. Gravitating towards that eating too. I like that. And that's good to see. That's good to see. Definitely, man. Well, okay, Chef Stacey, man, I appreciate you stopping by the D.Fos podcast. Y'all hit all the links, dropped a couple links in our chat. And so if y'all want more information about the community, you heard what it's about, Simply Pure, the website, you can find all the information on there and just catch her on social media, man. And let's continue this wellness journey. It really is a journey.
It's a journey. We're taking it together. People don't feel like they have to be by themselves. It's self-love, but you're not by yourself.
By yourself. That's good. That's good. That's a strong statement.
There you go.
D.Fos podcast, Gorilla Cross Studios, my man Quan the 5'9". D.Fos podcast, we signing off to the next episode. Thank you again. I appreciate your time.
Of course.
Absolutely. Chef Stacey, y'all take it easy. We out.
Bye.